Hello and welcome to the mains PYQ discussion by Neva Yes. This is a question from World History about American and French Revolution from 2019. Explain how the foundations of modern world were laid by American and French revolutions. It's a very direct question. We'll start the introduction by giving the American Revolution and its context. The time period is 1775 to 1783. And what was the result? The result was the formation of a democratic government in America, one of the oldest democratic governments in the world itself. Next up, French Revolution, 1789 to 1799. After 6 years. And what led to it? It led to the collapse of monarchy in France, Louis XVI. Then Napoleonic rise happened after that. So foundations of modern world, that's the perspective in which we have to answer this. We just have to explain it, explain how. So we'll divide it twofold. One is American Revolution, second is French Revolution. In American Revolution, first of all, democratic state formation took place. Foundation of modern world, modern societies identified with democratic governments. Next up, the principles of John Locke, like self-government, natural rights and social contract. See this natural right? This is something similar to the fundamental rights that India adopted in its modern history. Next up, the idea of separation of powers. Different organs with separate powers: judiciary, legislature, executive. This is a mechanism to prevent the excess of power. Next step is the mechanism of checks and balances, where parliament will control the power of the executive. The executive's power will be controlled by judiciary. This system is also American made. Lastly, inspired decolonization effects across the world, because US was a colony. So if US can do that, any country can do that. So decolonization efforts across the world was inspired by the American Revolution. So these are the points with respect to American Revolution. When it comes to French Revolution, the first point should be the three ideals: liberty, equality, fraternity. Second is the replacing of monarchy with nation states. This is a trend that will continue everywhere. You can see, take the case of India for example. We had 590 princely states, more than 590 princely states at the time of independence. All of them were replaced. Now there is no trace of monarchy in India. Everything got transferred and integrated into the nation state of India. Next, inspired revolutions across Europe. After the French Revolution, you can see the entire polity of Europe changing from monarchy to modern nation states. That inspiration came from French Revolution. Finally, the consolidation of Europe under Napoleon. So Napoleon can be called as someone who is the modern father of Europe. It's a negative sense. I've used it in the negative sense because Napoleon had imperial ambitions. He wanted to conquer entire Europe, but his conquest led to positive changes: consolidation, reorganization of boundaries, development of a new polity. So all these things happened. So these are the two structures. These are the kind of points that we are giving in this question. 5 points here, 4 points here, total 9 points. And we'll conclude this by giving the concept of end of history. What is the concept of end of history? End of history means you can see the nature of politics changing from primitive communist order to feudal order to capitalist order to monarchy to democracy. So the end of history concept is liberal democracy will be the final form of polity. The world civilization has reached a maturity with liberal economy, liberal democracy, and it is not going to go beyond that. History is coming to an end there. That's the end of history concept. So we'll give that concept because when we talk about modern world here, as per the question, the ultimate effect of both these revolutions were democracy, liberal democracy. And we can connect it with end of history concept and conclude this answer. So your answer will be very analytical, theoretical, and factual. That's it. Thank you for listening.